as I sit here and ponder, there's another letter to Lippy. You see, I'm in a big jacket. Mr. Willie, I'm getting closer to that hat on that head. Baby steps. Because you see, there's a lot of obstacles that every one of us have, that we're trying to figure out, put things in perspective. Just simple bad habits. However you want to label it. One of mine is, I have a problem with putting something on my head. And I understand it's to help me in these cold temps. But I've got this. Baby steps. Because you see, ladders were made with multiple steps. You just didn't have one at the bottom, and you didn't have one at the top, and air through the middle. You know, we wasn't born with wings. That's for nature out here. So as I challenge myself to move to putting this over my head, there is someone that's got a challenge facing them. Now, mind you, in today's times, January 20th, 2021, there's many challenges that all of us are going to face in one form or fashion. So I started not to do a letter to Lippy. And I said, you know what? I am today. Even though I wanted to dive into something that makes me feel good, and that's cooking, which I will video. But I also know that this letter that's in front of me, reading it, and I've read it 2 or 3 times, I am dissecting the words. And I don't think too much. But what I see in this letter is a person really struggling. And when I read you the letter, some of you may think, how does a person struggle with that? Well, it's easily done. And I'll explain why after I read the letter. This will never get old. Here we go. Oh boy. Y'all could see the scratches in these things. Didn't I just tell y'all the other day I got me a 4-pack for $9? I'm still using the old ones. Letter from Louisiana. Y'all, that's my home state. Now, like I say, as they come in is how I pick them. And I've got plenty sitting on the desk. And some in email. This one's in email, and I printed it. It says, Dear Miss Lippy, I am your #1 fan. I love your channel. Can you help me with this problem? I am one who has never been able to keep a schedule or a routine. How do you go about keeping a day-to-day schedule / routine? Do you keep a day-to-day schedule or routine calendar? Do you know what is most important and what is not so important? I have a lot of hobbies, and I seem to put them first over everything else. I want to be able to balance my day, but I have always not been able to know what is more important and what is not when it comes to the things such as housework, duties, etc. Also, how can I keep this schedule/routine and not give up so easily? Would appreciate any opinion you have. Thank you, Miss Lippy. Well, I never said, y'all, that I was gonna be wordly correct, because that's not who I am. And again, this is my opinion. The first thing that crosses my mind, and I'm being honest, is out of sight is out of mind. Maybe we need to take our crafts and put them out of sight. See, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Because, see, that's how I handle things. I'm very abrupt. I don't ponder on that. If it's taking the place of what is important. So you think, well, housework's not important. Cooking's not important. Laundry's not important. Yeah, it is. Because what I think is going on, reading the letter, you push that to the back burner, you bring in pleasure. You can find pleasure in pride. Now, I'm not saying you need to eat off your floors. I'm not saying you can't have a coffee cup or a cereal bowl in the sink. But you have to change your lifestyle. And you don't do it abruptly like I first said. Tuck it away. That's how it works for me. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So the first thing you need to do, and it's the start of a new year, is get you a calendar. And since you say that you can't stay on track or stay in focus, that's simply because when a person has crafts, that's opinion, whether it be gardening, whether it be knitting, crocheting, drawing, writing poems, writing music, whatever that may be, sometimes we put that ahead of our responsibilities because it's a feel-good. We can hide behind, it's kind of like a mask, because there may be an other underlying issue going on that we just don't want to accept. I'm guilty of that. I get in that kitchen and I cook like a crazy woman. I get out in the garden. I talk to my plants. But a lot of times I will find myself leaning to that because I'm trying to avoid something else. In your situation, you're trying to avoid responsibility. Because as a steward of your home, and that could be a large ranch house, that could be a camper trailer, it could be a tent, it could be a storage building, it could be an apartment, whatever. It's still, you have to be a good steward of your home. Because see, that roof is protecting you from outside elements. So you get a calendar. And I'm going to be brutally honest. No crafts. That doesn't go in the calendar. Okay? You wake up, you do your routine, you do not go to crafts. You then go, and on a Monday, I'm going to clean the bathroom. Like, detail it. But now throughout the week, you pick up in that room. One day a week, you choose a room, if you have multiple rooms, to tend to. If you're in a very small area, you take that calendar. You've obviously got dishes, you wash them. mean, I don't know what else to say. If there is socks laying on the floor, pick it up and put it in a basket. Because once you do something, everyday small task, and if you have to remind yourself by a calendar, I need to pick my socks up, wash my dishes, I need to wash clothes today. Today I need to sweep. You have to write your own calendar. I can't write your calendar. I don't know what all it is that you're faced with. Single, married, I don't know. So this can actually apply to all of us. It's a very good letter. Because a lot of times we hide behind pleasure. But when you become a good steward, that is pleasure. And you set aside 1 hour a day for your crafts until you make a routine that works for you and be a good steward of your place, your dwelling. Then you bring in your crafts, and one doesn't take over the other. They balance each other. See, it's kind of like a reward. See, we're rewarding ourselves. But a lot of times we look at chores, being a steward. How do I say this without just coming out and saying it? As work. You're putting the time and the work into your crafts. Put the time into the work of your home on a level that you accept. If you like a basket of laundry, but it's all in a basket, it ain't on the floor, hey, that's a win-win. Doesn't mean you got to go wash it that day. So, the letter actually isn't about chores. The letter is about balance. The letter is about focusing on being a good steward. Because right now, today, January the 20th, 2021, there is thousands of people that could only dream of having a tent. They would not know what a craft is. They wouldn't know what a sink and a tub and a stove is. Because we're all so guilty of taking things for granted. Because nowhere in that letter did you specify one particular thing, because you ended it with etc. So I think all that's going on is encouragement. Take you a calendar. Write the things that you're trying to get as a routine. Write them down. Work that into a weekly schedule. Monday's this day, Tuesday or this task, Tuesday this task, Wednesday. You get up, you start your day, you stay focused. The task is done. Then you pull the pleasure as a reward. But when you're putting pleasure in front of responsibility, and we're not talking about housework right now, y'all. When you put pleasure in front of routine, your ship's going to sink. Your ass is going to be stranded on an island. I'm just saying. And the only reason I say this because I've had to give my own self this pep talk many times. Because you know what? I'm human. So, darling, you can do this. A pen and a paper. And a box. The box is where your crafts go. That way, when you put that lid on it, you know it's there. But you have responsibilities to do. That's done. You come back, you open that lid. It's a pleasure. It's a rejoice. It's a celebration. Because you're going to find yourself smiling. Because I read deep into that letter. There's probably other things going on. That's okay. I was just faced with other things going on this day. So, I'm like a crazy woman up in that kitchen. But my responsibilities of being a good steward of my dwelling was taken care of first. So it's okay for me to dive in with my insane ways. I've earned it today. As you will earn it. Each day you do a task. But don't put all the chocolate chips in one cookie. That's why you don't stay on track. One a day. One a day. Becomes a habit. Life is good. Hell, you may get 2 hours of crafts. That's all I'm saying. We tend to beat ourselves up, y'all. But as long as we look in that mirror and we ask ourselves, what is really important to us in this world? Not selfish. Not the crafts, not the cooking, not let me dive into the garden because I can't face that my light bills due, or I can't face this and I can't, because we're all guilty of it. No, you meet it head on, but you meet it with patience. Accepting you will fail, you will bobble, but you get back up and you do it again. Pen and paper. Now that my ears are froze off, and I know it's just a matter of time, because this video will post on January, well, tomorrow, the 21st of January. I'm going to get a comment that I need my head covered. Y'all, it's kind of like that letter. Baby steps. I'm getting there. But until next time, keep the letters coming. Because you see, this letter here, I took something from that too, personally. So, God bless y'all.